Holy cows, man, it is crazy. So I just have a legit 911 call going on, and I am jumping through my hula hoop to get this all put together. So, geez, my phone's ringing again right now. Hang on. Got a phone call from a 82-year-old gentleman on his 54 Sea Ray or something like that, and he sent me a video, and literally the shaft seals are just spraying water out. Got a diver down there. They stuffed a wax seal around the shaft seal to try to stop some of the leakage. We got emergency tape on the inside and wrapped that around there. Shaft seals are non-serviceable. They got to get hauled out, and we have to dismantle the running gear and get new parts to replace. Got sea tow towing the boat over right now because the gentleman would not drive it on one engine because I told him he couldn't use the engine. Only one engine was leaking, or the shaft seal was leaking. So I told him he couldn't use that engine. He says, I'm not driving that over single engines. And they should be there in about an hour and a half. And then we'll go over there, meet him, and then what a day. All right, well, that's how my day's been going. We have been very busy. That's a blessing, I guess. Looking forward to the weekend. Maybe I'll just shut my phone off. Do you guys ever do that on weekends? Turn your phones off? I'd be curious how many people do that. Let me know.
I was trying to get down here as fast as I could to be able to show you guys the boat pulling away. It wasn't supposed to be here until like noon, and it ended up coming at, towboat came a little after 10, so I wasn't quite prepared for so early. Look at the size of that white tarpon just sitting here chillaxing. There's the little pusher boat that goes to Sunset Key.
To the rescue. Thanks, Sean.
All right, thank you guys. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
The diver went and secured the prop so that the boat could get towed over to the boatyard for our emergency haul out. So I just heard that there was a manatee, so I wanted to go over here and see. There he goes. I was waiting for that nose.
All right, so here's what we got coming out. Oh, why? Misaligned. Let's see here. It's a decent flow. Doesn't look like it sprayed on everything. That's the good news. All right, so here's what we got going on. Pretty healthy leak there. Appears to be, if you look here, I don't know what has happened there, but that should, if you look there, there's two different levels. There's not supposed to be. It's like broken. The Delrin is broken there. And I have zip tied that hose back there so that that's not leaking. But that was supposed to be right here, and the fitting broke off underneath the tape there, but there's supposed to be a fitting there that's broken off. So here is the other side. 2-inch shaft. It's a 3.5-inch tube.
How much water do you think is coming into that boat through that leaking shaft seal per minute? How many gallons per minute? Leave me a comment. Let me know.
So we rarely ever make it over to this side of the island. Today we thought we would come. It's a holiday, so it's pretty busy. Plus, of course, it's winter. So lots of snowbirds are down here in Key West this time of year.
Lots of pickleball going on.
So this is Higgs Beach in the middle of February, and we even have some people swimming. And we, on the other hand, have all kinds of clothes on. You know who the locals are here.
Yeah, the ones that are all dressed up and warm.
People from the north come and barely wear clothes. They think it's warm out. We're freezing. Today, Matt and I thought we would take you along with us as we try and just be peoples instead of fixing boats today. So since we came out to lunch, we saw that the market is going on. So we're going to head over there so Matt can get some homemade salsa. Come with us. Let's go see what we can get into. Oh, look how green that guy is. Oh, I hear some baby chicks somewhere.
So this is West Martello. It's part of a Civil War fort that was here. Now it's a garden center. We won't go in there today, but we'll bring you there sometime. So this is West Martello. Then down there is East Martello. It's another Civil War fort. Actually built quite a few forts here during the Civil War. There's also Fort Zachary Taylor, which is over there. And then, of course, you've got the Dry Tortugas Fort, which is 30, 40 miles offshore. And we know what we got here.
We got another Fred.
Chickens. This isn't the real one. We'll take you to the real one sometime. Poblano peppers that we'll take home, and I'll make a Mexican turkey sausage and stuff them and bake them. But now we're heading down to get some salsa. Get out of the wind and that sun comes out and it's warm.
These strawberries smell good.
Hello. Good, how are you? And the salsa. Oh, here, I got a bag.
$12, mi amigo. $12.
Thank you. I got a cucumber, a lime, for something a little later, and got some fresh made pico. Gonna enjoy that later.
When you're in Key West, make sure you always come see the cheese lady. What'd they call you for today?
I don't know exactly. The air conditioning units were popping some codes. I think it was HPF, high pressure failures. Most likely we're gonna end up down there.
Probably.
Cool. All right, let that one run. Let's go down here. I haven't been on this boat in a while. Low P5, so the salon needs serviced. All right, hang on, let's check the rest of them.
Is there one back here in this room?
Yeah, what's that say?
Just says 68 cool.
Cool?
Yeah.
Okay. Turn that all the way down, the temperature. All right, so the salon we need to look at. I'm gonna turn this one all the way down. Okay, get those all running. I don't think I showed you guys, but the salon unit was showing LPF, which means low pressure failure. That means it's low on refrigerant. Let's go. So I've turned all the units down, see if they all run without tripping anything. All right. So AJ, we got to figure out which one of these is the salon air conditioning unit. So let's see here.
Hopefully they're labeled.
And see those hose clamps right there?
These ones?
No, look at back. See the back? See how that salt is all over that?
Yeah.
That needs to get fixed. We got to tighten those up. So I'm guessing it might be this one because it's not running. So let me go see if it went off on LPF. Is that back one running?
Yeah, the back one's running. The other three are running.
All three of them are running?
Yeah.
Here. Okay, I'm going to go turn them all off except for the salon and then figure out which one comes on. That's the one we need to service, all right?
Okay. Never make it easy to get to.
I was going to tell you, you can go through these service valves, but if you can get access to these, it's easier.
You just get better readings, or?
No, it's just easier than having to deal, because here you have to take this off, you have to take this off, and you have to put a wrench on there to open that. And if you can get to these, it's faster.
69 over 218.
All right, where's that keg at?
Right behind you.
So let me put this on here. Remember, if it's a 4, starts with a 4, it's got to go in as a liquid. So you got to tip it upside down. Anything that starts with a 4 is a blend. So then for today, we're probably going to look for about 118 and 250. So this is low. Oops, hang on. You got to do this first.
Purge it.
Yep. Do that until the liquid comes out, and that was liquid. So then you can watch the liquid, the site. You don't. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but liquid will go in there. See that?
Kind of see it bubbling up a little bit.
So you can't just open this and let it run. It's going in as a liquid. The compressor wants to compress a gas to a liquid. It doesn't want to compress a liquid because it can't. A liquid is non-compressible. So that's why you have to do this like that, and just it'll gas off as it goes in.
Okay. Do you often deal with like R22 systems at all, or?
Yeah, but they're going away.
Yeah.
I just recently bought a keg of R22. My cost, which is not retail, was $2,700.
For one keg?
Yep.
Wow. I don't know, is that expensive?
And there's about 27 pounds in a keg, so that means I have to charge $100 a pound just to break even.
Yeah.
So I'm not making any money.
How much does it cost for a 410?
$200-300.
That's not bad.
Yeah. Like this is 410 alpha, so you select the refrigerant on there, do these numbers. I'll give you some homework. We'll call that one good for now. Let me go see it shut down. Probably shut down because it met it's so cold today. It should be back on.
Yeah.
Let's go check the pressures one last time. All right, so we're good there. So I close these little guys, little shut-off valves, because then you lose a lot. Then you don't lose all the refrigerant that's in your hose.
Don't burn your fingers.
And all these caps, you got to make sure they're good and snug on there. Let me see, what's that say? Push the right-hand lower button once.
That's one?
Yeah, push it. There you go. Okay, so it's low on refrigerant. The blue knob, yep. That's good. Again. Again. And you can see fluid going in, right?
Yeah.
Through the sight glass. Do it again. You're adding liquid, but you have to let that liquid flash off. That's why you can't, when by flash off, I mean changes from a liquid to a gas, which it will do because you're sending it into the low pressure side so it can expand. The reason you have to do that is because I explained you can't add liquid into a compressor because a liquid is non-compressible. They call it slugging the compressor. It'll make it shut down and it's not good for the compressor. So go ahead and crack that again. And because it's cold out and the water temperature is cold, our pressures are going to be lower. On a hot summer day, the pressures would be higher.
Yeah.
Again, here, take that.
Oh, yeah.
All right, some more.
You want one more?
Yeah, one more. That's good. Okay. Just set that down and let's go ahead and have you tighten up those hose clamps. Show the good people what you're doing down there and why.
Right now, I'm tying up these hose clamps. If you can see back there, all that green, that is salt. Because this line isn't properly clamped down, so it's definitely seeping through here. And we don't like the sight of that. So I'm just going to undo these clamps, slide them over, try to get this hose on a little bit more, and then clamp it down, make sure it's nice and secure.
I'm going to go turn it off so there's no water pressure in the line, okay?
Okay.
You can so flip that over. Now you got to close the green valve, other way. All right, now just hand me that whole thing. Oh, careful. Now, you got to be careful with these. Sometimes they have oil in them.
Yeah.
So you can't get it on the teeth and stuff. So we'll just set that here and then I'll show you how to deal with that in a second. Okay. All right, now you can loosen that up, move them around a little bit and then tighten them back down. See if you can slide that hose further onto the pipe.
Okay.
Damn, TJ.
Yeah.
AJ, sorry, TJ's not here.
Not here anymore. Oh, that does not want to go.
You wanting to move?
No. Pardon me?
You got both of them loose, right?
Yeah.
All right, try twisting it this way, see if it'll bust free. No?
Nah.
Okay, try to reposition the hose clamps a little bit and then tighten them down.
All right.
Okay, you got the caps on the,
Yes, sir.
they're good and tight?
Yes, sir.
Okay, take half of one of those oil soaks. Yeah, take half one of those oil soaks and wipe that salt off that pipe as best you can. Grab your stuff, do a good quality check, cleanliness check, secure check. Got all your tools and everything secure, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so grab these gauges and go down on the dock and we will show you what we're going to do next. So remember, when you open these, there's going to be some refrigerant in there which has oil in it. So you want to do it like down in the middle of the dock away from other people's boats.
Okay.
And then what you're going to do, and just so all you folks at home know, there's not enough refrigerant in those lines to recover. And so you have to blow it off. And it's 410 alpha, so it's supposed to be environmentally friendly. So you can see the gas coming out. So that's actually a liquid blowing off. So that's the refrigerant changing from a liquid to a gas because it's not under pressure anymore. Hey, open up the knobs on the manifold too.
Yeah.
I'll turn everything back on. See what we've got down here. All right, that one's in cool mode. Let that run for a minute. We'll check the other two. All right, that's in cool mode. We'll let them all run for a couple minutes. All right, well, they're all running. And we're going to set the temperature up to 70, which they won't run much today at all. Let's see here. All right, so they're all set for 70, and we should be good to go. Yep. All right, and then this one we just leave on fan mode. Okay, we're done.